guys, Donna here with your weekly mini reading for June 23rd to June 29th, 2025. Can't believe it's already the last week of June. I don't know where that went, and we're right in the middle of our heat wave. If you are where the heat is, please be sure to get hydrated. Make sure you're staying as cool as possible, and please check and make sure that your pets come in, that you're taking care of them, you're taking care of the elderly, and also the young children, because heat exhaustion and heat stroke can come upon you when you least expect it. Okay, last week we had Guardian Angel, Trust, and Enchantment in the Healing with the Angel cards. We had Pray from the Heart from the Radley Valentine St. Michael deck. And we had Cooperation instead of Competition from the Angels of Abundance. And finally, our affirmation that we have from the Positive Affirmation for Dreamers was, I choose what makes my heart bloom. I love that one. I choose what makes my heart bloom. Anyway, so I hope you were able to get in touch with your guardian angel, that you were able to work on your trust issues, see the world in an enchanted way. It's rather challenging right now to do that, especially with what's going on in the world. But just remember, you're anchoring the light, and you can be the enchantment for someone else. I hope if you had prayers that they were answered, that you were able to come into partnership with people, that you were able to just really relax and do self-care and make sure you're taking care of you. So I'm going to call in St. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. Let's see what they have for us this week. It really is hot. It was 92, I think, but we had, with the heat index, it was 100 degrees today. It's just been really oppressive. I don't know if any of you feel that way, but that's how I feel. So I'm staying in, as long as we can stay in and hydrate and just really try to not do any kind of overexertion. If you're going to exercise, make sure it's inside. Even walking outside right now is just, it's too much. All right, so we have Divine Timing, Romance, that's a good card, and Enchantment again in the same position. So we're going to start with the Divine Timing card. So remember, last week, pardon me, I have to look at my notes, we had Guardian Angel, Trust, and Enchantment. Okay, and so now we have Divine Timing. And it also talked about prayers. So if you're, and I was talking about this manifestation, that you might write manifestations out for this new moon in Cancer, because this is all about divine timing. Everything is in divine and perfect order. It doesn't always seem that way because we want it to be faster. We want it to happen now, you know, but as long as we understand that we're putting one foot in front of the other, then it's in divine timing, right? Everything is in divine timing. And sometimes it requires us to have patience and to slow down, because I always think of the Lord's Prayer, thy will be done, not my will be done, right? And sometimes we want it to come quickly, but divine timing means there might be a lag time, there might be a wait, but know that the angels are, you know, tying up things, making sure everything comes together at the proper time for the right timing. Next, we have the Romance card. And Romance card can mean true romance. Maybe you want to date someone, or you're dating someone and you're going on a romantic date, or you're going on a romantic cruise, something where romance is coming into play this week. Adding beauty. This is redecoration. If you're thinking about redecorating a room, or or painting something with redecoration, right? Surrounding yourself with beauty, making sure that you have whatever romance means to you, in your immediate area to help lift your spirits and to keep you in a place where you can see the world in an enchanted way. Because when romance shows up with enchantment, it usually means that there's romance on the way, right? We want to see the world in an enchanted way. If we fall in love with someone new, or there's a baby born, we see enchantment through the baby. And this can be someone having a baby too, because this has to do with love, all kinds of different love. And if you've been praying for your romance and your enchantment, know that it's on its way to you, because the divine timing card has come in. So through the enchantment, you're able to see the beauty that surrounds you, because enchantment can mean spending time in nature, being by the water, whatever it is, going on vacation. Know that the enchantment is here this week. Then you have the romance coming in and the divine timing. So through the enchantment, you get the romance, and it comes at the perfect time this week. Next, we're going to ask St. Michael to see if he has a message for us on this theme. Okay. Pray from the heart. There we go. Again, pray from the heart. We had this one last week. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concern and watch miracles unfold. It's been a very treacherous couple of weeks, actually the whole year, but especially these last few days, where there's a lot of fear in the world from what's going on in world events. So this is asking you to pray from the heart and know that your prayers are answered, and to expect miracles. So if you're praying for someone, continue to pray. If you need prayer, reach out, let us know. We'll absolutely pray for you. And know that everything is happening in divine and perfect order, right? Because our prayers are heard and answered, but sometimes we think that they're not heard because we're not seeing any kind of result. But again, the divine timing card, that little bit of, just a little tiny bit of delay, just reminding ourselves that everything is in divine and perfect order. And then the abundance cards are God is your source. Okay, so some of us could be worried about our finances. We could be worried about where we're going to move to, or a new job, or are we going to get laid off? So we have all these concerns. So again, pray from the heart and expect a miracle. But remember that ultimately God is the source. Your paycheck comes through a company or through your clients, but really it comes from source. They are just the channels to how you get your abundance to come to you. So everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. So this is just a reminder that God is our source, that this week we're going to focus upon the fact that there is plenty of abundance for all to share. You're not going to miss your opportunity. You're not going to miss something, because anything that's meant to come to you will come. But remember that when you get in that place of fear and not love, then you close yourself off and you're closing your heart. We want to open our heart to abundance. We want to open our heart to the enchantment, to the romance, to the miracles that are abounding, even in this very interesting time, I'll say. But know that God is your source, and lean and rely on him. If we know God is our source, don't forget to pray, knowing that your prayers are going to be answered, and that through that you're able to see the world in an enchanted way, along with the beauty that surrounds you, which is inside yourself, by the way, because the romance angels are coming in and reminding you that you are beautiful, you are enchanted, right? But also knowing ultimately it's in God's timing, not ours. So our last but not least cards are going to be potentially, let's see what our affirmation is this week. Let's see. What is it this week? Okay, I've got to put my glasses back on. All right. I do not have to prove myself to anyone but myself. Wow. I do not have to prove myself to anyone but myself. I do not have to prove myself to anyone but myself. I really love that affirmation. I'm going to have to use that because, you know, sometimes I think we feel like we need to live up to other people's expectations of us or what they want us to do or how they want us to be. But ultimately, we don't have to prove ourselves to anyone. We just have to be good with our source, right? It's right between me and my source, my God. Then, you know, other people may have their opinion, but know that you do not have to prove yourself to anyone but yourself, right? So you want to be sure that when you pray from the heart and you're feeling your heart space and you're knowing that you're, you may not feel very lovable or loving, you know, we all have those moments, but just try to remember that you're still loved no matter what. Your angels don't judge you. God doesn't judge you. We judge ourselves more harshly than anyone else. So try this week to really use this affirmation. I do not have to prove myself to anyone but myself, right? So have a great week. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic, and I'd really love that. Just hit the subscription and the notification bell, and you will get a notice of my once a week mini reading. I hope all of you are well. Please stay cool, stay safe, and I will see you next week. This is Donna. Don't forget, you're always on my Reiki Radar.